Get that fucking trash out of your life. You have legacies to build. We grew that business from 3.4 million to 17.1. Horsepower, not horse shit. You want to be the parent that's an ally. They don't need another fucking friend. Not everybody's cup of whiskey. Toughest advice for the toughest businessmen. Be relentless. Losers aren't quitters. I have a great one, a great story for you that I just was hand delivered to me here about 20 minutes ago. I dropped my daughter Emery off at her school here in Naples. We're homeschooling 3 days a week, but Emery is still going to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. She has lots of friends there. She enjoys the school, and it's socialization for her. It's so we do homeschooling on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, a bit of math on Saturdays, pretty intense homeschooling. And she really enjoys the Tuesday and Thursday with her friends. So we're completing the year. School's over in another month here in South West Florida. So I drop her off this morning at school, and this is the letter that the principal hands me through my window. Dear elementary families, we are saddened to let you know that on Sunday night, we unexpectedly received a letter of resignation from Miss Blank. I will not humiliate personally the guilty. Immediately, effective immediately. She cited both professional and personal reasons. This is my daughter Emery's school teacher. She teaches grades 1 to 5. She's a new teacher this year, and she sent in a letter of resignation to the school on Sunday night, citing both personal and professional reasons. It goes on to say that preserving the children's daily activities paramount. Moving forward, the responsibilities will fall to the principal and assistant and support staff. Now, to Krista and I, this is great news. This is, as soon as they handed that to me inside the car window, I pulled over and read it, and I went, man, this is going to be a great day. This particular principal, Mrs. Hunt, ran the class for a handful of days earlier this year when the main teacher was away. And I remember picking up Emery, and she came running to the truck and she said, Daddy, what I love today, we had Mrs. Hunt as our teacher. And she said, wow, we had law and order in the classroom. The boys were doing what they were supposed to do. The chaos, the romper room, I called it, was cooled down for a few days because the sheriff was in town. And I said, did you learn something those days? She was like, oh, it was so nice to be able to learn and have some discipline and structure. My daughter is used to discipline and structure. She's got hard teaching coaches. We make things as hard and difficult as necessary. She's got chores, she's got structure, and she has some great mentors and coaches. She's got a very tough math teacher in Dan Lizonis. She has, a tough, difficult and challenging art teacher and chess teacher, and she thrives like all kids do in a structured environment. So my question to you today is, what kind of a teacher? Okay, I'm a teacher, I'm a coach. If you have employees, you're a coach, you're a teacher. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a coach, you're a teacher. You may not view yourself as that, but if you're gonna win, I tell my mastermind guys, you're coaches, you're teachers. You're just like Jimmy Johnson, you're just like Bill Belichick, you're just like Nick Saban, you're just like Mike Krzyzewski, you're just like Pat Riley. If you have employees or you have an assistant or you're running a company, you're a teacher, you're a coach, you're a leader, you can't get away from it. That's why you need to be reading biographies and autobiographies like I do on the great coaches. learning anything that they do, how they build their teams, how they relate to people, how they get the best out of their people. You're a coach, you're a teacher, you're an instructor, just like I am. All businessmen, all entrepreneurs, all builders are teachers. Whether you want to be or not, you're a teacher. You're a coach. You're no different than a guy who builds a football program, a baseball program. You're no different than a piano teacher. You're no different than a chess teacher. You're no different than me, and I'm no different than you. We're teachers. So what kind of a teacher on a Sunday night sends a resignation, which I can tell was a text or an email, certainly not a phone call? What kind of a leader of young people would send a resignation note or text or email or even phone call on a Sunday night, hours before the next week of school? You've been hired, you've signed a contract to lead children ages 5 to 10. In other words, you're a huge influence in their life. There's nobody besides mom and dad that have more influence than a grade 1 teacher or a grade 3 teacher or a grade 5 teacher. So this school gives you a teaching opportunity. You sign a contract, you teach through the first 7 months of the year, and then you're 30 days away from the finish line, and you fucking pull the pin, not just on the school, not just on the principal, not just on the other assistants, but you pull the pin, you pull the chute, you mail it in, you phone it in on yourself and 20 kids. 20 kids. You send a message which is contagious. Nothing is more positive, nothing is more contagious than the example. You as a parent, me as an entrepreneur, you as an entrepreneur. Nothing is more contagious than what we do. Not what we say, save the preaching, save the sermon. What you do is what they do. So I get this letter, and after I celebrate the good news that this lousy teacher is gone, I then turn my thinking to how rampant quitting and quitters are in today's world. 2023. We are awash in quitters. Even though we're living in the greatest time in history, even though we are awash in abundance, in opportunity, and in wealth beyond our dreams. Trillions of dollars, billions of dollars, 8 billion people at the click of a button because of the interwebs. You can make as much as you want. You can create a side business. You can scale your business from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 if you want to. And you can sell your products and services to people all over the earth. Press of a button. No longer are we cramped by territories, by countries. You can literally choose and write the paycheck of your dreams. You want to work in Florida? You can work in Florida. You want to work in Texas? You can work in Texas. You want to work in Alaska? You can work in Alaska. You want to go to France and Italy like we're doing this summer? Go to France and Italy, and you can work with a laptop. As long as you're willing to work and be focused and put in the time, unlimited wealth, unlimited opportunity and abundance. So why do we have so many quitters? Why are we surrounded by parents that quit, dads that quit, business owners that quit, entrepreneurs that quit, and most importantly, coaches and leaders? This is like me on a Sunday night sending an email to Marc Andre and saying, by the way, I'm out. I'm out. Even though I've given my word to do this job, even though I said my mission was 10 years to help 1 million men. Help 1 million men what? Build a badass world of your dreams. That's my job. It's not just about the money. It's a movement. It's my calling. It's what I'm going to do with the next 10 years of my life. This is my tour of duty. I'm a husband, I'm a father, and I'm a coach. This is my tour of my duty. My duty is to get my ass up, to put my shoes on, and to shoot a video every damn day that helps people like you. That's my calling. That's my duty. I have been blessed with one more day. I have another day. So the only question I'm asking myself these days is, who can I serve? I need to serve my wife. I need to serve my daughter. I need to serve my mom and dad. I need to serve this business, and I need to serve you. But that's my calling. I've been given a tour of duty, and I believe It's my moral obligation to serve 1 million men. It's going to take me 10 years. It's going to take me 10 years of putting on my shoes and shooting videos. When I started 2 years ago, nobody watched my videos. 20 people, 15 people, 40 people, then 100 people, then 200 people. And then my YouTube channel started to build up. 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. And I have a long way to go. Nobody wanted to buy my products. Then all of a sudden people wanted to buy my products. All of a sudden nobody wanted to join my mastermind. All of a sudden people wanted to start joining my mastermind because I kept doing the work day after day after day. I was given a tour of duty another day, another blessed day, and it's my moral obligation to stay on this mission for the next 10 years, God willing. Get up, put on my shoes, and serve others. It's beyond me because I don't have any quitters in my life. I don't have any quitters in my life. As a coach, I got rid of all the quitters. As an athletic hockey coach, I got rid of all the quitters. Didn't matter if it was an athlete, didn't matter if it was an athletic trainer, didn't matter if it was a strength coach, didn't matter if it was a video coach, didn't matter if it was a player, didn't matter if it was a parent. I get rid of quitters. I can't stand quitters. Quitters aren't winners, and winners aren't losers. So I get rid of all the quitters. In business, I have a rule, and everybody criticizes it. They're always like, Michael, I unsubscribed from your videos, but I'd like to come back in. And Leanne says no. She says fucking no because I don't cater to quitters. If a person quits my email list, if a person quits my videos, if somebody quits my newsletter program, if somebody quits my mastermind, I have a simple no coming back rule. It's a policy. You know, I talk about the rules that make our lives, that lead to personal sovereignty. I have a no coming back policy. I had a no coming back policy with my barbershop. If you were a member of my barbershop, whether it was gold, silver, or bronze, if you quit, you couldn't come back. In other words, you could join the herd, you could join the great unwashed, you could come with the general public, you could come in the shop with the civilians. But as far as membership, as far as perks, as far as priority, zero. You weren't allowed to buy membership. I blocked you and I banned you. Why? Why would you do that, Michael? Because quitters aren't winners. I want nothing to do with quitters. I don't want them in my business. I don't want them in my personal life. I don't want them in my world. So I banish quitters. And a quitter is a quitter is a quitter. Same thing if I owned a fitness center or a gym or a tennis place. These guys, these owners, they have no clue. They have all these people that sign up in January and they get a bit of cash flow, eh? Everybody buys a monthly membership. Well, what do the 99% ordinary, average, and mediocre do? The first thing they do is they cancel their membership to the gym. When? Halfway through January, February at the latest, because they're fucking quitters. They can't go to the gym. Most people give up on their New Year's resolutions by January 14th because they're quitters. They quit walking, they quit lifting, they quit eating right. They're quitters. Quitters aren't winners. So if I'm running a fitness center and somebody quits one of my membership levels, I'd have platinum, gold, and silver. If somebody quits, that's it, that's all. I ban them, I tell my staff, and they're never welcome back. If they want to come in once in a while and pay the daily fee with the civilians and with the outsiders, go ahead, go in. But I'm not going to build my business around you. I'm not going to sell you a second membership. I'm not going to fall for your bullshit like everybody else in your life does. Well, you know, I didn't have money at the time, or it was Christmas, or you know, my cat was sick, or, you know, none of it, because it's all lies. Quitters are liars. They lie to themselves. They lie to the people in their world. They're liars. I want nothing to do with quitters. So if I owned a gym or a fitness center, I would build the business on membership, and I'd surround myself with winners, with champions, with people that appreciate what we offer, that pay monthly, that love our priorities. They love how we treat each other. And that's exactly how I built my multi-million-dollar insurance agency. If I had somebody cancel on us at McLean Insurance, I was the only guy in the country that did it. I was also the #1 producing agent in the country. for 7 consecutive years. How's that? I didn't cater to quitters. If a person quit, they canceled their policy on me, and it was just like, oh, well, I went with Geico. Oh, well, I got a better price. Well, fuck you. You know what? I'm not going to put on the knee pads. If I'm not good enough for your car, I'm not good enough for your house. If I'm not good enough for your house, I'm not good enough for your car. Take all your business and go. And I shocked people. Like, my staff were like, really? I said, get rid of them. Quitters are losers. We don't want quitters. And in the insurance business, I had a no coming back policy, just like I have in this business, just like in the barbershop business, just like in the hockey business. If somebody canceled their season tickets, they come to us halfway through the year. Michael, I'd like my seat back. You know, I wasn't going to go to the games, but now the team's doing better, so I want... No fucking way. You can stand in line with the general public, general admission. You're welcome to come with the civilians, and you're welcome, but you canceled your tickets. And now somebody else sits in your seats. The most valuable thing you can do for your business and how to liberate your poor staff is to bring in a no catering to quitters policy. I wrote about it in my book. It's one of my 25 rules. When losers let themselves out, don't let them back in. That goes with another policy. When the trash lets itself out, when the trash in your business lets itself out to the curb, don't be the person that welcomes the trash back in. The trash let itself out to the curb. Why are you letting it back in? These are the people that abuse your staff. They verbally abuse your staff. They're time vampires, they're energy vampires, and they're quitters. They don't give a shit about your company. All they're there is for the cheapest price. And the second that they can do better, they leave you. Those are not clients. Those are not customers. Those are vampires. So this is why I never, ever cater to quitters. And this is why I ban people in my consulting business. So if somebody quits watching my videos, that's fine. It's a free country. Or they cancel their Michael McLean newsletter, or they cancel their telegrams, or they jump ship on a mastermind. That's fine. That's fine. That's freedom. But just remember, you're not coming back. You're not going to sneak in, and you're not going to come in after a different email because I have you banned. Because, you know, quitters aren't winners, and winners aren't losers. I want to surround myself with champions. I want to surround myself with serious people. I want to, like, when you get a letter sent to you on a Sunday night from a teacher, a so-called leader, and she quits on 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds, and she sends that quitting message to them, is that a serious person? Is that a person who's got passion and obsession with teaching? Does she read, you know, books? Has she read 2,000 books like I have on coaching and teaching and marketing? I don't think so. I just have a sneaking suspicion, no. I had the opportunity to speak with her on 2 different occasions, and just coming, you know, I said to my wife, Krista, I said, you know, how do some people stumble into teaching? It's like stumbling into veterinary clinic and you don't like animals. Or it's like becoming a fireman and you're scared of fire. Or you stumble into the police force and you're afraid to shoot. Or you go into the military and you're afraid of hard work. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I'm in teaching because it's all I think about. It's all I think about. If I'm not coaching hockey, I got to be coaching tennis. If I'm not coaching tennis, I got to be coaching marketing. If I'm not coaching marketing, I got to be coaching email marketing. If I'm not teaching, I'm not happy. I got to be teaching my kid. I got to be teaching elite men like you. Because it's my passion. It's my obsession. It's the next best thing to play in the sport. When I couldn't play hockey or tennis anymore for money, the next best piece of advice I got was, Michael, you got to coach or you got to referee. Well, I'm not going to referee. So immediately I threw my life into coaching hockey and coaching business and being an entrepreneur. I just can't imagine how a person like that stumbles into teaching, where on a Sunday night they can say, well, for personal and professional reasons, I can't do this anymore on a Sunday night. Well, the professional reason is you're horseshit at what you fucking do. You're a terrible coach, you're a terrible teacher, and you're a terrible leader. That's why the kids know nothing. 2 + 2 = 6. 2 + 2 = 6 in that classroom. And that's why we're homeschooling. You're so fucking bad at your job that you're literally stealing money from the school. And I put this on the principal who's the leader of that. I put that on the leaders who turn their back and hire an incompetent like this. If a teacher doesn't bleed, if a teacher isn't obsessed, if a teacher isn't completely passionate about teaching, if they don't make you fall off your chair when you're interviewing them, you shouldn't hire them. I've hired assistant coaches in my life. I've hired COOs. I've hired executive assistants. I've hired people in all these positions. And if they don't knock me off my fucking chair, I don't even think of bringing them near my world. And that should be the same for teachers. It's bad enough that these Humpty Dumpty parents nowadays, their kids, they quit everything. I run my hockey programs in my school and my power skating programs, little kids age 5 to 15. By Christmas time, you started with 50 kids and now you got 25. So I say, where are all the kids? Where are all the kids? We're only halfway through the season. Oh, Johnny found it difficult. Well, Johnny didn't like getting up for 9:30 on a Sunday. Well, you know, Johnny found it hard. No, Johnny didn't find it hard. You found it hard because your hungover or drunken ass couldn't get to the rink on Saturday or Sunday morning. So then when Johnny said on one of those days, I'd rather play video games, you're all for it. Well, he quit. We have a rule in our house. If you hate doing something, you finish the season and then you can quit on purpose. That's how winners win. But you don't quit on a team. You don't quit on a club. You don't quit on your students. You finish it through. If you hate a mastermind, you finish it through and then you don't do it again. That's called, you know, that's calculated quitting. If you're not good at something or you don't have a passion for something, this teacher should have finished the year, done the best of her ability, and then in 1 month, she should have looked at the person in the glass and said, you know what? This isn't for me. This profession isn't. I would respect that. I would have empathy for that. I would have compassion for that. Somebody who had an honest to goodness talk with themselves and said, you know what? I made a mistake. This is a lot tougher than I thought. I love kids, but this isn't for me. And that's another thing. What teacher, what coach, what sports leader, what mentor doesn't love kids? How do you end up in teaching or consulting if you don't love other people? Like, I'm my own client, 45 plus, successful, married with children, struggling in one or two areas, conservative, pro this, pro that. I'm my own client. Like, it's just amazing. Like, if you don't love kids, don't go near teaching. If you don't love animals, don't go near that business. If you don't love marketing, don't teach it. If you don't have obsession and passion for what you do, that's mailing it in. That's phoning it in. You have no fucking business in that industry. But what really pisses me off is when people are around children or around teenagers or around students or around, or like pretend experts. Pretend experts. Have you won in this area? No. Are you continuing to win in this area? Never did. Why are you teaching? You're a pretend guru. You're a pretend expert. You're just here for the money. Money's really important to me, but it's not the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. It's to live a life of significance and to build a legacy that outlives me. Money can't do that. I need to make money. I'm not running a soup kitchen here. I'm not running a halfway house. I'm running a business, a profitable business, but I'm not going to send a letter at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night and quit on a bunch of kids or quit on my mastermind members or say, screw it, you're not getting my newsletter this month because, well, you know, personal and professional, less. And I'll tell you another thing. Is I guarantee she used the manufactured mental illness. Guaranteed. Well, you know, I've been feeling depressed. I've been feeling down. I'm suffering from anxiety. I went to see my doctor. I medicated, all this other stuff. Bullshit. You know what? When you quit, then you don't have any chance of getting help. Let's say she is 5% of the people that are actually mentally ill. 5%, no more. The rest of it, horseshit. 5%. The rest of it, horseshit, manufactured. Sure, it's real. Depression's real. Anxiety's real. Stress is real. My God, I live that world. But 5% of it's real. 5% of it's real. But now 50% of people are always using those excuses. Well, you know, I've got the blues, Michael. I'm a little depressed. I'm a little anxious. No shit. You're on your phone 18 hours a day. You haven't been out in sunshine in 3 weeks. and you're 40 pounds overweight. No kidding, you're suffering from anxiety and depression. But here's the thing, when you quit, it's over. No matter what you're doing that's difficult, whether it's a baseball game, whether it's your marketing, whether it's sending out newsletters, whether it's walking every day, whether it's drinking a gallon of water, or whether it's teaching school. The only way you can truly lose, is if you quit. There's always a chance as long as you stay in the game. She could have stayed in the game for another month. She could have walked out with her integrity. She could have worked as hard as she could to impact those children for the last month. She would have got a letter of recommendation, and she could have said, you know what, this isn't for me. And that's called integrity. And that's how she could have left the teaching profession. But oh, no. She uses personal reasons and professional reasons. And then if she actually is suffering from mental health problems, she's now not going to get any help. She's not going to get any help because what? She quit. So the game's over. There's no such thing as no chance. I've coached teams back in 7-game series for down 3-0. It's not over until we quit. And then all of a sudden you win the series in 7. It's only over when you put on the knee pads and you quit. It's never over. You always have a chance, especially if you're able to change, to focus, to move the goalpost, to learn. You still got a chance. You still got a chance. You got another day. But the final death knell is quitting. And it's the worst habit in the world to get in. Like, you know what? That's not the first time that tomato can quit. She had a mom and dad. Maybe she had a dad. Sounds like she didn't. But that's not the first time. She's an adult who's a professional and she quits on kids. That, right to me, tells me that she is a born quitter. She was quitting when she was a kid. She was quitting when she was a teenager. She quit all the way through college because you don't just pull up the stakes and quit on kids, okay? You have to practice. So that's a person that was allowed to quit. That was a person who was allowed to make it a habit. That was a kid, when things got difficult, they quit. When things got hard, they quit. And then, when I met her, I'm like, this person has no self-image. This person has no self-esteem. Like when I meet great coaches, when I meet Bill Belichick, or I talk to Nick Saban, or I meet a Tony Robbins, or any of these top leaders, they got powerful self-image. They got powerful self-esteem. You know where you build that? They built that from a little kid by, first of all, associating with other winners. That's number one. You are the average of the 5 people. You hang around quitters, you're going to be a quitter. You hang around champions, you're going to be a champion. And secondly, they were encouraged and their parents demanded they do difficult things. They were made to do difficult things. Well, Dad, I don't like this taekwondo. Well, you're going to finish it. And then at the end of the session, if you don't want to do it, we'll do something else. Well, I don't really like golf. It's hard to hit the ball straight. Well, we're going to go back and you're going to hit another ball and we're going to hit balls until the session's over. And then if you still want to quit, you can quit. But we don't quit midterm. So quitting's a habit, and it's a horrible habit for you to be in. If you're in it, it's contagious to your children. And if you allow your children, your teenagers, or your grandchildren to quit things, especially in the middle of them, you're just promoting quitting. We live in a world of quitters now. People ask me, they're like, Michael, how can you be so bullish and optimistic on being a dad? How can you be so bullish on the economy, so bullish on entrepreneurship, so over the top optimistic about 2023? Very simple. What I tell my kid every day, there's zero competition. There's zero competition for you as a businessman. There's zero competition for you as a husband, as a father, as a grandfather. Read my lips. Zero. Zero. Look around. It's not top 5% anymore. It's not top 1%. If you can find 1 in 100 and 1,000 men that have their act together, that show up as husbands, fathers, entrepreneurs, they have some discipline, they're not a cell phone fucking junkie, then you know what? You're not top 1%. Your goal is to be 0.01%, 1 in 1,000. The 5%'s gone. The 1% is gone. You look around at 100 people, you think you can find one guy with his shit together? I dare you. I double dare you. I'll bet you the largest stake in Texas you can't do it. Go into a stadium of 40,000 people. You think that there's 4,000 people in there that are rock solid winners? Bullshit. There is not. There's zero competition. If my kid can't live the life and build the world of her dreams, it's because she didn't work at it. It's because she gave into addiction, or she gave into or she followed the crowd. But if you can teach yourself and your kids to work hard and to stay focused and to not tolerate what the other 99.9% tolerate, are you kidding me? Zero competition. Zero competition in business, zero competition in life. You get yourself in the best physical and mental shape of your life. You pray, you read books, you market, you have a can-do attitude. Are you kidding me? The sky's the limit. Do you know that your potential, yours, yes, your potential is almost unlimited? No, you're not going to slam a basketball like LeBron James, and no, you're not going to score goals and skate like Connor McDavid. But your potential, you're using about 7% of your potential. Think about that. The box of potential, 7%, so you have 93% where you can think bigger, act bigger, behave bigger. Think about that. Your potential is literally unlimited. You can do things you have no idea you can do, but you'll never do it with following the crowd and quitting when things are hard. That letter was the best news I got today, because I got that fucking quitter out of my life. I got that fucking quitter away from my kid. And you know what? They write a letter where, I'm sorry to report, it's almost like a death in the family. You know the letter they should have written? They should have told the unvarnished truth that this is shameful behavior. Quitting is fucking well shameful, and it should be seen as shameful. Losing is shameful, not learning is shameful, not growing is shameful, not serving people is shameful, being 40 pounds overweight is shameful, being broke is shameful. There's no problem with, there's no issue with a person being down. We've all been down. We've all been really down. But there is great shame in staying down. And there is great shame in quitting. Get all the quitters out of your life. Get all the quitters out of your business life. Get all the quitters out of your personal life. Get all the quitters out of your world. Quitters aren't winners. And you want to fill your world to the brim with champions and builders and contenders and lions, and get rid of the sheep and the normies and the quitters and the shit weasels and the tomato cans. They'll suck the living life out of your entire world. Get rid of the losers. Losers aren't winners, and champions aren't chumps. Like I said, that letter was the best news I got today, because now my kid gets to scale up and be around somebody who has obsession and passion and compassion, and she's going to do a good job in the classroom. And we got rid of the losers. And take my thing to heart, my rule to heart. Nobody comes back if they quit. No, we have a no quitters rule. I call it my no coming back rule. No coming back. When quitters let themselves out of your world, make sure you slam the door and lock it. Slam the door and lock it. Because quitters are serial quitters. They're serial quitters. They'll quit once, they'll quit 5 times. And if you're dumb enough to let them back into your life, they'll suck all the energy and they'll suck all of the time and life out of you. Spend your time with winners. The last thing I'll say, and Marc-Andre taught me this, is you have to understand that every time you put on the knee pads for quitters is you repel the winners in your world. You repel the champions. You repel the champions. When you do everything you can and you take all your time and energy and you give it to the pretenders, to the tomato cans, to the people who don't even want to be there, you're sucking away the time and energy you could be giving to your champions, to the best of your best. In other words, spend your time with people who appreciate it, people that want to learn, people that want to be serious students, and get rid of the quitters. Don't spend another second with a quitter. Spend all your time and resources and energy with winners and champions and builders. That's the secret to building the world of your dreams. Remember, I'm starting up a email millions mastermind. It may or may not be for you. If you want information and you want to apply, go to emailmillions.coach. emailmillions.coach. And I'm going to cap it at 100. It's going to be a year long, every month, emails. I'm going to write four emails a month, which will be one email per week. and I'm going to teach a class one time per month and record them on building an email list in your business. It's what saved me in the insurance business. It's what saved me in the hockey business. It's what saved me in the barbershop business. So it's the secret to cash flow, and it's the secret to leads into your business every day. If you're struggling with cash flow and leads, what can really save you is developing and creating an email list and then emailing to it every single week. If you do that, your entire business can change. I went from worry and anxiety and stress to peace of mind in a month by starting to email my list once a week in the insurance business. Then I did it in the barbershop business, the hockey business, and the consulting business. Go to emailmillions.com, and apply. And I will let you know. I'll confirm when you're in. I'm going to start in mid-May. Emailmillions.com. That's it for today. 2 words that changed my life. 2 words that can change your life. Be relentless.